Rev it up and welcome to Cars Yeah, show number 1477.
You're never afraid to fail because it's only by our failures that we learn and we grow.
This is Cars Yeah, where you'll enjoy interviews with inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Mark Green is here to provide you with a fuel injection of automotive inspiration. So get in, sit down, buckle up, and get ready for a wild ride here on Cars Yeah.
Hello, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, and welcome to Cars Yeah. I'm revved up and so excited to share with you today a very special guest, Juliette Brinkerhoff, calling in from Hawaii, a place I wish I was today as the rain comes down here in the Pacific Northwest. How nice. Juliette Brinkerhoff was the navigator with Valkyrie Racing in their most recent venture in Kenya and Tanzania, Africa. She rode with her mother, the driver, who is a past guest here on Cars Yeah, Renee Brinkerhoff, is part of a Project 356, a 7-continent, 18-country, 20,000-mile world record attempt. Along with worldwide adventures, the team raises funds and makes donations through Valkyrie Gives, where they fight against child trafficking, helping women and children at risk around the world. When Juliette isn't navigating the world with her mom in a race car, she runs Foley, a socially conscious dog clothing company offering unique products made in Los Angeles, California. Juliette's love for cars comes from her mom's Project 356 World Rally Tour, and she is a big supporter of breaking barriers and pursuing one's passion. And regular listeners will also recall that Juliette's sister, Christina, was a guest on Cars Yeah just last year in late 2019. I'll be back in just a minute to talk with Juliette, but first, a word from our valued sponsors that make Cars Yeah possible. Winter's here and things can get a little messy. Rain, snow, salt, mud, dirt, and everything Mother Nature comes up with can hurt the finishes of your vehicles, both inside and out. I'm not worried, though, because I've used Covercraft car covers on my rides since 1975. Today, Covercraft offers you a total solution to vehicle protection. They make the best-fitting, finest-made car covers in the world and offer a wide variety of materials, colors, and options that protect your paint and the interior, too. Live where it's sunny all the time? Lucky. Covercraft dash covers and sunscreens are the best. Got pets, messy kids, messy in-laws, or just messy friends? Covercraft seat covers are the perfect fit and the perfect solution for keeping your seats looking new. And don't forget their custom fit floor mats and trunk liners. They are a must-have for all your vehicles. Your cars, trucks, van, or whatever you drive will say thank you. And I've got a deal for you. During January 2020, you can get 10% off plus free shipping on all Covercraft products. That's right. Go to covercraft.com and use the code YEAH120. That's YEAH120 at checkout. That's covercraft.com and use the code YEAH120 at checkout. Hey, Cars Yeah race fans. Andy Collins, owner of Armadillo Racing, is a past guest here on Cars Yeah. Last year, I was honored to be a speaker at his high-performance racing seminar, and having attended, I can tell you it's an invaluable learning experience if you love to race. This year marks the 25th anniversary of Armadillo's high-performance racing seminars, and it takes place Saturday, February 8th in Tacoma, Washington. For your seminar fee, you'll spend a day with 4 of racing's premier professionals on how to improve your driving and much, much more. This year's outstanding speaker lineup include Jacques Delary, PhD, world-renowned high-performance driving and life coach, Jeff Braun, a race engineer with a history at Core Racing and IMSA, Ross Bentley, top driving coach, author of world-renowned Speed Secrets and a fellow podcaster, and Dan Davis, retired director of motorsports for Ford Motor Company. All of these incredible racing experts are past guests here on Cars Yeah. As an added bonus for Cars Yeah listeners, you'll get to join these speakers at the Friday night reception at the incredible LeMay Car Museum for free. That's right. It's a $50 value if you sign up by January 15th. What a deal. Go to Armadillo Racing's website and register. That's armadilloracing.com. Hey, Juliette, welcome to Cars Yeah. Aloha. Are you buckled up and ready for a fun ride?
Yes, I am. Aloha to you, Mark.
Absolutely. Oh, how I wish I was there with you and your mom enjoying some sunshine. So maybe package up a few rays and send them over to me. Could you tell our listeners just a little bit about yourself before I jump into some of the questions?
Yes, absolutely. I am the CEO and founder of Foley, as you said, a socially conscious dog clothing company made in LA. And I'm also the daughter of Juliette Brinkerhoff and the most recent member of Valkyrie Racing. So that was very exciting.
Yeah, no kidding. Very exciting. Now, that's an understatement. I'm not going to let you get away with just that because we're going to talk about this incredible adventure you went on with your mom as we go through the questions. But do me a little favor here. Tell our listeners maybe one little thing that a lot of people don't know about Juliette.
Well, I'm definitely afraid of heights, but I love roller coasters and doing any sort of activity that kind of tries to help me conquer that fear.
Ah, that's a good way to conquer fear, is just face it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That height thing is a tough one. My wife is really afraid of heights. And it never bothered me up until the last couple of years. And for some reason, something twisted in my brain. I got to untwist that wire. When I get into high places, I kind of feel a little bit odd or queasy. So maybe I need to jump on a roller coaster. What do you think?
Sometimes it works. It often doesn't.
Yeah, some of them these days are downright frightening.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. Well, listen, as we continue on this journey, I promise not to take you anywhere too high. We'll kind of stay on the ground here. I would love for you to share a success quote or a mantra, some kind of saying that's been important in your life. It's a nice way to get the inspirational tires turning here on Cars Yeah. So, Juliette, grab the wheel.
You know, I think it's really important is that you're never afraid to fail because it's only by our failures that we learn and we grow and we really find the courage in ourselves to never give up. And that's been really important for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I would imagine, and we're going to talk about this business of yours in a minute, but starting a business, oh my gosh, I talk about facing fear because most small businesses don't make it. What's one way that you face that particular, maybe it wasn't a fear for you. Maybe you're a fearless person. I mean, someone who decides to jump in a car with their mom and drive across Africa in a 3,000-mile safari. I can't be too afraid, although your mom, my gosh, she's traveled close to 20,000 miles now in that little silver Porsche. But what's one way that you would advise people to face their fear if they have something that they want to do, but they just quite get?
You know, I think it is scary because you're putting everything on the line, yourself, your knowledge, money. But I think the hardest step is the first step, and it's just doing it. And you don't know what you're doing, and you just put one foot in front of the other. Yes.
Very much so. 5.5 years ago when I started this podcast thing, I didn't even know what a podcast was. And I'd left a business I'd been at for 20 plus years. And I started telling people what I was going to do. And they're looking at me like, what?
Yeah.
You're gonna what? So, they were supportive. Friends were supportive. Some people I could tell they thought I was nuts. But finally, I remember one day thinking about it. One day I just went, I just have to start. I just got to do it. And who cares what happens? So I think that's great advice from you and those listeners out there that are thinking about doing something. Strap in and do it.
I don't think that you can listen to everybody's opinion. If I tell people I make dog clothes just like you, so many people are like, you're doing what? And so if you really believe in yourself and you believe in your product, you just go do it.
I always say, look at very successful people and look at how many failures they had. Everyone forgets about those. They only focus on the success they're having right now. Race car drivers are a good example. I just interviewed 2 race car drivers before you called in today. Both of them talked about, I've had far, far more failures than successes. That's just part of the deal. But life is that way. So get out there and do it. Take a chance. Have some fun. Let's talk about this business you have today. And we're also going to talk about your drive you took with your mom. But I want to start with this. And I know this isn't a car-related thing, but I find what you're doing very fascinating because I went, dog clothing. Aren't dogs born with clothes already? They already have a fur coat. Now, I know you have your lovable Frenchie Gus in your life, and maybe he's the catalyst that kind of stirred you along here. Those are such great little dogs. My next-door neighbor has a wonderful Levitt bulldog named Warden that I enjoy walking every day. And they're characters. Is Gus the one that kind of gave you the idea for Foley and why dog clothing? Where did that come from?
Yeah, Gus was absolutely my inspiration. So I founded Foley back in 2018. I was running an ultra luxury activewear company and I just wanted to do something different. And he gets really cold. And so when I would go shopping to try to find him sweaters or jackets or anything, what I found was that there were a lot of products, but no one was thinking about the well-being of the animal that was wearing them. So we, as, consumers, as people, we care about softness and breathability and comfort, as well as it being fun and stylish. But yet they weren't thinking about the same things in terms of these animals that we love so much. And so, why would we put our dog in something where it can't breathe with all that fur that it already has in it? So I wanted to make a product that had that breathability, that had that softness and that comfort that could keep, our puppies warm that need it, and also was really stylish and fun.
So does Gus wear a Gore-Tex puffy jacket?
He does wear. He's my model for all my sweaters, that's for sure.
Is he? That's fun. That's very cool.
He's also the mascot.
It's an interesting. Yeah. The mask. There you go. Yeah. The key pup for the brand of Foley. And I'll remind our listeners that's FOLIE. Your website is Foley LA, correct? FoleyLA.com?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Check it out. The pet business, it's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's massive. People will spend whatever on their pets. It doesn't matter. So I think you're in a great niche. And the fact that you're thinking differently I never thought about that because my wife and I are both allergic to dogs, unfortunately. We've never had pets. So that's why we're kind of the dog parents for Warden next door. We go over and walk him and take care of him. Kind of like having a grandchild. You can spoil him and then take him home and go, no, you deal with him. Maybe I should recommend Warden to Foley because he does not like the water at all. And it rains a lot where I live up here. And so he won't go for a walk in the rain. He just won't do it. So do you have like a raincoat for Warden that I could maybe get?
Oh, they're coming soon. We're working on one now.
Are they? Oh, okay. Well, you let me know when it shows up. And I'll see if I can talk Warden's real parents into putting a raincoat. Maybe I can get him to walk in the rain. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, I wanted to let your listeners know that I created a 356 collection for the car enthusiasts and dog lovers out there, which you can find on my website, which was inspired by my mom.
A 356 inspired line of clothing for dogs. Is there something special about these that relate to automotive? Are there car images or anything? Or why 356? Or was it's just because your mom's inspiration?
Yeah, it was inspired by my mom and the love of that car. And so, yes, it's a print with little 356s all over it on the dog sweaters. They're very cool looking.
Well, I'm going to have to get a dog now. I mean, what am I going to do? I'm allergic to dog. Oh, well, I'm going to buy one for Warden. Maybe that's the thing I should do. That sounds like a plan. Absolutely. Well, again, check out Foley, FOLIELA, and you can see what we're talking about here. Some very cool automotive-inspired clothing for your favorite pup. Very, very cool. Love it. Let's talk a little bit about this incredible trip you just came back from, the East Africa Safari Classic in Kenya and Tanzania, Africa. 3,000-mile multi-day road race. This is pretty cool because this event was all about rally cars, but classic cars. So it's a little very different than, let's say, rally car racing. Not quite so extreme, thankfully. Tell me about this adventure you went on with your mom. Was it the first time you'd been a co-pilot and a navigator for her? And have you ever done this before? And what was the experience like?
This was the most amazing experience of my life, I would say. Never navigated before in a professional sense. I've been a big supporter of my mom from the very beginning. So I've driven my family around in cars for the races and raced around Mexico and Peru, but I've never done it in the professional sense. So when she asked me 2 months before the race started to be her navigator, it was like, oh my gosh. I really wanted to be thoughtful about it because Project 356 is so dear to her heart and to all of us. And I just wanted, to make sure that could I do the job? Like, I've never done this before. Can I do this? And at the end of the day, it's an adventure with my mom and also my sister. And that was the chance in a lifetime. So it was amazing.
The Brinkerhoff girls in Africa. How many times did you pinch yourself on this trip and go, we're really here. We're really doing this?
Oh, multiple times a day. You turn a corner, there's hundreds of monkeys in front of you, and all of a sudden you look up from your road book and you go, oh my gosh, I'm in Africa right now. This is crazy.
Yeah. How did I get here? I'll tell our listeners, you really have to go back and listen to my talk with Renee, because when I had your mom on, she was just starting this adventure. And I'll tell you, I do a lot of keynote speeches and talked with different groups. In fact, this January, I spoke at a banquet for the Porsche Club here locally. And I talk about what I've learned after interviewing so many people. And your mother is one of the people I use in my talk as an inspiration, because of the fact that at a later age in life, she was in her 50s, one day she just decided to go racing. Now, I've got to ask you this. Do you remember when that came up in the family and mom decided to go racing, but not just go to the local track? She wanted to race around the world. I mean, what did you girls think about your mom?
I thought it was amazing. And I didn't know everything that was behind it for a little bit until I started to hear her interviews of different things. I realized that this is something she'd been telling herself her whole married life, that this was something she wanted, this was something she was going to go do. And that she just went out and did it. I thought it was absolutely incredible. And to have that strength and that courage to just go, we tell ourselves so often things that we want to do, but really following through with your dreams and seeing what's become of it and how empowering she is to other people. And we were actually, during the race in Africa, we came in one day and there were all these women and young girls that had been waiting all day for us. And I didn't even realize that it was such a big deal for them, because I wasn't out there thinking, oh, we're the only women team out there and no one else is doing this. I was just trying to make sure we didn't get lost. And so to see that and to have them run up to us and tell us, how amazing it was and how special it is. And they said, you're doing what the boys are doing and we can do that too. And you're showing us that. And you don't realize the power and how inspirational you are to people all over the world.
Well, yeah. And, my mantra here at Cars Yeah, inspiring automotive enthusiasts, I can't think of any better guests than you and your sister and your mother, who fit that profile. I'll remind our listeners, go check out the website, racevalkyrie.com. Renee and now her wonderful daughters have been with her in some incredible places. Renee ran the Carrera Panamera. She ran in North America, Australia, South America, Asia, and Europe. Now Africa. Coming up next, better put a parka on, like I said, for everybody, Antarctica. I mean, oh my gosh. And this is going to be something, Antarctica sub-zero in the winter of 2020. Are you going to be back in the passenger seat for that venture?
I am not. She has this amazing person going with her who is known for traversing the poles, and he's an expert on it, because the biggest fear you have is falling through the ice. So you really need an expert on the ice and how to drive on it.
Yeah, I think so. I just thought getting lost in the white, but I didn't think about falling through the ice. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh. It's just incredible what you guys have done. And I've got to think this is one of those lifetime experiences that you'll never forget. Let me ask you this question. I mean, you're a woman who likes to do things that are different, unique, and fun. When your mom asked you to do that race, what clicked in your mind? You said, was there ever a moment that you said, I don't know about this, or was it just, I'm in, let's do it?
No, I did think about it before. The adventure part of it is, oh yes, of course I want to go to Africa. That would be amazing. But it's also, you want to do a great job and not let the team down. And so, could I do that job? And so the minute I said yes, I started training, but there were so many unknowns, because you can't really train to be a navigator, because I'm out in the middle of the bush in Africa with no roads. So how do you really prepare yourself for all of those things? And you just could do it. And I remember, right when we got there, everybody kept saying, oh my gosh, you're the navigator. Huh, good luck, And I thought, oh my gosh, talk about pressure.
Thanks for your support.
Yeah, everyone was like, well, I can't believe that you're going to navigate. That's going to be impossible, So you had all this pressure on you. But we just went out and did it. We had such an amazing time in the car together. And we were such a great team. And, we laughed a lot. And it was extremely, extremely hard. One of the toughest rallies in the world. And it was challenging, mentally and physically, because that car does not have a lot of comfort in it as you're racing through those roads. But we just had the most amazing time, and I wouldn't change it for the world.
I'll bet. If you follow Renee on Facebook, you can follow these adventures, and it's so cool. And with your sister's talent, Christina, in videography and photography, the images that came back, I felt like I was a little piece of the adventure since I'd met your mom. I've interviewed her, like I said, but I've also met your mom in person several times and had the pleasure of talking with her and seeing what an exceptional woman she is. So I kind of felt like a little piece of me was there, kind of enjoying, pushing you guys on, like, yeah, go for it. Driving through the mud puddles and the giraffes and the monkeys, and then all the people and all the little children that came up to you. And we're going to talk a little bit about Valkyrie Gives and what the incredible thing that you guys are doing in just a minute. But first, I want you to take us down a challenging road, a time in your life that you faced a big challenge or even a big failure. Kind of walk us through that. But more importantly, what was the lesson learned and how did you come out in a positive way on the other side?
Well, when I was pursuing a career in film, I learned a lot about courage and determination, because when you go into these audition after audition, you are the product. So you are essentially selling yourself to these casting directors, to strangers. And with that comes a lot of rejection. There are a lot of no's before you start to get those yeses. And I think it takes just a lot of courage and determination, and also the ability to know who you are and what you have to offer, and to not let any of that get down, and just, if you have a dream, you just keep going.
I don't know how people do it in film. I was, one of the things I like to do, and I get on the treadmill every day, is watch videos and things. It helps the time go by. And I happened upon one about Mickey Rourke, the actor, who has I didn't know much about his background. I just kind of know of him as kind of a rebel and so forth. But he talked about that. He had a horrible childhood, absolutely horrible childhood, beyond belief. And he talked about, you'd go into some of these casting calls, you'd walk in the room, they'd go, thanks, bye.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, what?
Absolutely.
And yeah. So, it's got to be let me put it this way, probably be a good training ground for business. Because if you can do that, if you can walk in and have people just look you up and down and go, nope, see ya, and not even give you a reason. Maybe they don't like the color of your hair that day or your look or whatever it might be. How do you take that rejection every day and build on it? Is there a way to do that? Because for some people, and I'm included, I don't like to be told no. And I always take it a little bit personally if somebody doesn't like what I'm doing, or if I'm trying to say pitch them to be a sponsor and so forth. I always take that personally, and I've got to learn to get past that. What are some ways that you did it during your film career that helped you keep going back?
Just believing in yourself and working hard, and you just keep going, and you can't take that rejection personally. In business, lots of times, you want to put your product out there and you like the feedback because, okay, I can tweak this, or I can make this better. Oh, you're right. That didn't fit properly, and not taking that personally, and just using all of those pieces that you get to make yourself better, to make your product better, to work harder, to be more successful.
So how do you not take it personally?
You just have to have a thick skin.
Oh, come on. You make it sound so easy.
It's not. But you get so many of them. You realize it's, you just have to have a thick skin.
Yeah. One thing that I had a past guest tell me about this same type of situation was take each of those rejections as not a rejection, but a lesson learned.
Mm-hmm.
So if you think of it going to school, when you go to school, you don't know anything when you first start the class. And you stumble and you bumble and you write reports or you take tests and you don't do that well. But by the time you're done, if you work hard, like you said, you can figure it all out. So take rejection the same way. Try to ask great questions, find out why somebody doesn't like what you're doing, and then work on that as a learning lesson. So that's the way to do it. Let's take a short break, say thank you to our sponsors, and we'll be right back. Edelbrock has been the name in automotive performance since 1938. Edelbrock designs and builds thousands of the finest automotive performance products right here in the USA for both street and track. From their AVS2 carburetors to V6 superchargers, if it's more power you crave, Edelbrock delivers. Let's talk superchargers. Whether it's an application-specific system or a universal fit, their precision-made assemblies come in multiple stages for a wide variety of makes and models. Their V6 superchargers are dyno-tested and ensure the perfect fit and maximum horsepower torque plus added boost. You'll get huge power gains. I mean huge power gains. Quality construction you can trust and backed by decades of knowledge, Edelbrock is a brand that provides you with proven performance. And I've got a deal for you. This January 2020, you can get 10% off if you use the code CARSYEAH at checkout. Just go to Edelbrock.com and use CARSYEAH, all one word, at checkout and get 10% off. Tell them Mark at CARSYEAH sent you. That's Edelbrock.com, checkout code CARSYEAH for your 10% off. My favorite collector car magazine is Keith Martin's Sports Car Market. I've been a subscriber for decades. Sports Car Market is the Wall Street Journal for the enthusiast and the collector. It's your monthly must-read whether you dream of owning a collector car, have 2 cars, or 200. Sports Car Market has been around for 31 years, and it's filled with valuable articles, intelligent write-ups, and the latest auction sales. Go to sportscarmarket.com and subscribe today. Plus, you'll get the exclusive SCM guide to restoration shops included for free. At checkout, use the code CARSYEAH and receive a 50% discount on your digital subscription. It's an exclusive offer from me here at Cars Yeah. I'm Mark Green, and I love Sports Car Market magazine. Are you looking for a way to get your products or services into the ears of thousands of automotive enthusiasts around the globe? I can help. This is Mark Green here at Cars Yeah. And I'd be honored to be an influencer and ambassador for your brand in a unique and personal way. 5 days a week, thousands of subscribers and listeners enjoy the Cars Yeah podcast and website. Contact me today and I'll show you how at mark@carsyeah.com or connect with me through the Cars Yeah website at carsyeah.com. You take care of your cars, but who takes care of your investments? Tune-ups aren't just for engines. Updating your financial plan is important too. Your GPS may take you from A to B, but it won't help you on the road to financial freedom. For that, you need a good co-pilot and a very trusted advisor. Chris Kimball, CFP, is just the man for the job. He'll guide you down that road without driving you crazy. For over 25 years, Chris has helped people just like you and me with their financial planning and investments. With a master's degree in financial services, he is eminently qualified. And he's a car guy too. Learn more at chrisvkimball.com or call 866-ON-A-PLAN. Securities through Money Concepts Capital Corp. Member FINRA SIPC. CK Financial Services is not affiliated with Money Concepts Capital Corp. So we are back, and I want you to share a story that instigated a passion you have for cars. I'm not sure, were you a car person before your mom got into doing these spectacular events and bought that little silver Porsche? Or is that what kind of triggered your passion for cars?
I was not. I remember my grandfather's brother used to have an amazing classic car collection, Zach Brinkerhoff, who has since passed away. And so every Christmas we would have parties around these amazing, beautiful cars. And I was so little, I never thought anything of it. And it wasn't until I went down for La Carrera to support my mom and race around with her, with the crew, that I really realized how amazing those cars were and how fun these rallies were.
Is there a first special car in your life that you've had that you're really fond of?
You know, one of my earliest cars was a BMW 325. And I think all the memories I shared in that car with my sister and the road trips we had and taking it to college and a lot of those memorable life moments that you have with that car will always make it really special to me.
Yeah, no doubt. That was the car we bought our son when he first started driving, a 325 CI that he named Nancy, which I thought was kind of fun. I had that car for many years through high school and then college, and we just recently sold that car to a good friend of mine, Eddie Lowe, and it's now his daughter's first car. She's 16. So Nancy is carrying on. Although somebody in their family wanted to name it Bubba, and I said, well, no. That's not the car's name. It's Nancy, not Bubba. So there's an ongoing battle there a little bit. Let me get into your head a little bit here, Juliette. If you woke up tomorrow and you were a vehicle, not what you want to be, but you were manifested as a vehicle as you perceive yourself, what would you be?
I think I would be a Land Rover Defender because it's such a badass car to me and an adventure car. And it really, it can go anywhere and it can do anything.
Yeah. No, I like the way you said that. Yeah, it's absolutely perfect. We're going to jump into the last lap. But first, before we go there, I want you to talk a little bit more about this incredible opportunity that your mom has created to raise money and funds to help people through Valkyrie Gives. I know that you live in LA, but you're calling in from Hawaii today because you're there with your mom, right? As part of this Valkyrie Gives. Tell our listeners about Valkyrie Gives, why it's so important and why it's so important to you and your mom.
Yes, so I am. I'm in Hawaii for the 4th annual fundraiser my mom hosts out here to raise awareness and money for child trafficking. But, it's just been a passion that's been so important to all of us in our family growing up throughout the years. And so she really found an amazing platform to do just that, to make a difference in the world. I think sometimes when we view women and children trafficking, it seems like such a mountain to climb. What can we do? Do we even make a difference? Does my money even make a difference? Will it help anyone? And it does. And we found so many organizations to support all over the world that are doing amazing things, that are not only working in education, but they're also working in rescue efforts and then also rehabilitation. And so it's just been really special to go visit those foundations, as we travel around the world with Project 356, and to meet these really incredible and amazing people that are doing so much.
How can people get involved? How can they learn? How can they donate? How can they help?
Yes, absolutely. The website is valkyriegives.org, and there you can read about all the different projects, about Valkyrie Racing, and you can donate from there as well.
Absolutely. I'll make sure I put a link to this incredibly important subject matter on Juliette's show notes page. Go and check it out, what these women are doing to help people around the world in this horrible, horrible situation that children find themselves in, and women is so worthwhile. So I really commend what you guys are doing here with Valkyrie Gives. We are entering the last lap, and I'm going to fire off a series of questions and ask you to give our listeners some very quick blips of that Land Rover Defender throttle. So here we go. Would you share one of your personal habits you believe has contributed to your many successes?
The things that I don't want to do, whether they're, what I don't want to do the most, I try to do the first. The things that I would normally procrastinate, I try to make sure those are the first things that I do.
There's a term that I use, and it's a really good way to spend your day. I call it swallow that frog. And the idea is that when you get up in the morning, if there's something you really don't want to do, but you have to, swallow that frog. Get it out of the way. The rest of your day will be so much better.
Exactly.
Put it off. So, yeah, that's a great advice. Sometimes it's hard to swallow the frog. That's why the term is swallow that frog. If I could arrange for you to have a meal or a drink with anyone in the automotive industry, living or deceased, who would it be?
It would have to be Niki Lauda. I think he had such a remarkable career in life, and that he really is such a testament to the resilience of the human spirit with all that he went through.
Oh, yeah, that'd be fantastic. What's the best, now that you've spent some time racing across Africa with your mom, what's the best automotive or racing advice you've ever received from somebody?
Well, as my friend Debs would say, don't forget to change your oil.
Very important in your street car and your race car. Now, how about resources? There are so many these days. Is there one in particular that's a go-to, I should say, for you? Maybe an app, a website, a blog, a person in your life?
What I've been really loving lately is the Audible app. They have so many books on audio tape, and you can listen to them wherever you are, whether it's business or pop culture or architecture. It's such a great resource.
It really is. My wife has earbuds in all the time. I was starting to think maybe she didn't want to listen to me anymore, but she's always listening to books. She's an avid reader. She used to consume 2 or 3 books a week. Now she listens to them so she can do other things while she's learning from books. Audible's fantastic for that. That's what makes podcasts so great. You can listen while you're exercising, walking, driving, whatever, and you can learn a whole lot from wonderful people like Juliette. Speaking of books, and it could be an Audible book, is there a book you'd like to share with our listeners?
The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand is still my favorite book of all time. I remember the first time I read it, it completely changed my life. So,
yeah, incredible person, lady, and incredible series of books. The Fountainhead being one of those. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. My son, when he was in, I think he might have been in junior high the first time he read it, and he just fell in love with it and read it again. So if you haven't read The Fountainhead, take some time to read it. You can find all these resources on Juliette's very own Cars Yeah show notes page. Just go to carsyeah.com, type in Juliette Brinkerhoff, and if you type in Brinkerhoff, her sister and her mom show will pop up too, and you can listen to all the Brinkerhoff women. All right, we're up to the checkered flag here, Juliette, and this last question can be a bit of a doozy. Today, I'm going to buy you a very cool collector car, something fun to park in your garage. Now, you're down there in sunny California. Today, you're in Hawaii, but you live in California. You got the beautiful coastline to drive. It's always sunny down there. So pick a car, if you would, that you'd really love to have, but there's a couple rules. One is you can't sell it to fund your Foley LA dog clothing business. You got to keep the car. You got to drive it. And it's the only cool collector car you can park in your garage. So what can I buy you today?
well, I'd have to say it's, of course, 356. I think, I have such a love for that car, and especially after spending so much time in it before and during the East African safari, it's just the spirit of that car and being in it. And no matter what obstacle we came on, it conquered everything. And that would absolutely be the car in my garage.
The little car that could. Now, let me ask you this. I don't know how much you know about the old 356s, but there were the A's, the B's, and the C's, depending on the year. Your mom's car is, of course, an A. Is that the model you'd like, the beautiful 356A?
That is, yes.
Absolutely. What color would you like yours to be?
I think silver. That car has such a special place in my heart. So
yeah, I can only imagine. I love 356s. Always wanted to have one. They've become so valuable and so expensive. They just kind of keep going beyond reach. But I've got a couple connections down there in Los Angeles. I think I could have a very cool car built for you by one of my two friends down there, Rod Emery or John Wilhoit. They both build beautiful 356s, but they like to do them with a little bit of a twist, especially Rod, but John will do it too, what they call outlaw cars, where they'll put much more powerful engines in them, better suspension, but they'll build them custom any way you want. I think we should build you a very cool Wilhoit or Emery outlaw car so you can keep up with Mom. How does that sound?
That sounds perfect.
Yeah, I think so. I will get to work on that. Sounds like fun. Well, Juliette, you've taken me on a great ride, just like your sister and your mom did. So fun to have a mom and two sisters on the show. I've really enjoyed learning more about you. I want to thank you for sharing your journey. Could you offer us one little parting piece of wisdom or guidance before you drive out down the California coast in that beautiful 356 Porsche?
I think it's just important for us to know that you're never too old to make your dreams come true, and that sometimes the best is yet to come.
Love it. It makes me feel really good. I'm kind of getting up there in age. The best is yet to come. That makes me feel much better. Very, very cool. What's the best way for our listeners to learn more about FoleyLA.com, your dog clothing business?
You can go to our website at FoleyLA.com or also on Instagram, which is at theFoleyLA.com.
And Foley is F-O-L-I-E for you listeners out there, or you can go to the Cars Yeah website, find Juliette's page by typing her name in there, and that'll pop right up. And then also remind you, Valkyrie Gives. You can go to the website there.org. Find out about this wonderful thing that they're doing, and also erasingvalkyrie.com. You can follow along. When does your mom head off to the big white yonder to drive down in the bottom of the planet?
They're planning it for next year. So if all goes well.
Next year.
Yeah.
All right. Very, very, very cool. I'll make sure that I keep all of you up to date on that. You can go and follow Renee Brinkerhoff on the website and also on her Facebook page and follow along with the adventures. They do a wonderful job, again, with Christina doing a lot of the photography. It's really, really fantastic. Juliette, thanks for being so generous today with your time, your expertise, and for sharing your experiences. Aloha spirit to you and your mom over there. Is Christina with you guys as well?
Yes, she is. Yes.
What fun. The whole family. Well, best wishes for a successful venture over there. Until you and I talk again, I'll see you down the road. Mahalo.
Thank you, Mark, so much for having me on.
Absolutely. It's been great. Aloha. Hey, Mark Green here from Cars Yeah. Did you know you can now see me on the Cars Yeah TV show? It's a weekly visit to some of my past Cars Yeah podcast guests, and I take you along for the ride. You go behind the garage door and into their lives, their businesses, and you get to see what makes them successful. With tens of millions of viewers, Cars Yeah TV is making its mark. Cars Yeah TV is available on MAV TV and Lucas Oil Racing TV. You'll find MAV TV on Direct TV, Fubo TV, Fios by Verizon, or you can stream it through Lucas Oil Racing Television online. And they said I only had a face for podcasting.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's ride here at Cars Yeah. Drive on over to carsyeah.com to find show notes and inspiring automotive fun. Download your free copy of Filler Up, a fun book filled with gorgeous photographs of fuel filler fun, including quotes from more inspiring automotive enthusiasts. Download your copy today, and we'll see you next time on Cars Yeah.